Well, hi there. I'm Diana Montford, the world's first transgender television journalist. Born male, became female. Oh dear. But anyway, my guest is a woman of transgender experience who is a writer, who is brilliant. Her name is Ms. Rena Dunsworth.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good.
We can't see. Oh, there you go. Okay, now you are a woman of transgender experience.
Yes, I am.
Would you like to tell us about your amazing journey, both as a trans woman and just to get to New York?
Yeah, I pretty much knew at the age of 6 that I was born in the wrong body.
Mm-hmm.
And I spent a lot of time fantasizing about being a woman growing up. But then I would, because of the way I was raised, kind of clamp down on that and become a boy again. And
right.
I was active in sports and did all the male stuff, you know, tried to have a girlfriend, tried that whole experience. And at the age of 19, I found out that I had homosexual tendencies. But I really, because of my religious upbringing, struggled with that for years and years.
Do you come from a religiously conservative family?
Yes.
I see.
Yes. Pre-Methodist.
Oh, okay.
Pretty conservative, yeah.
And they had a problem with your being A, gay, and B?
They always thought that I was gay, I think. Although if I asked them, they probably wouldn't say that. But I think they always thought that I was
No,
gay.
you have a brother and a sister.
Yeah.
Did you ever play with your sister's clothes or toys or anything?
Yes, I played with one of her dolls one time, and my father caught me, said that I was a sissy, so I got really angry and tore the doll's head off and threw it out the window. And my sister wouldn't talk to me for some time.
Oh, well. But at least you proved you weren't a sissy.
Yeah, I don't know.
But, when did you definitively transition?
I started cross-dressing in 1999.
Mm-hmm.
And
we're shooting this in 2017, yes?
Yeah. So I cross-dressed for a long time before I became full-time transgender.
Mm-hmm. Where were you born?
I was born in Rapid City, South Dakota, but my parents moved to Denver, Colorado at the age of 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
So it's pretty much all I knew growing up was Colorado. And I lived in Denver, and then we moved to a suburb called North Glen. And I lived there many years.
Now, you have an interesting journey to New York, don't you?
Yeah.
Were you already transgender when that happened?
Yes, I had been cross-dressing for a long time, and I'd been, I had a little scooter, motor scooter, and I would dress up in a dress and drive my motor scooter downtown.
In Colorado?
In Colorado, because I lived not too far from, I lived about 10 miles from downtown Denver. And just for the thrill of dressing up. And
did you do it in the daylight or at night?
At night. But people recognized that I was, you know, some of them had not so nice things to say.
Like what?
Like you faggot, and things like that, or only in Denver, Colorado, you know, stuff like that.
Yeah. That's because they hadn't been to New York.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Sodom and Gomorrah on the Hudson. Hi there. But, so now you were already taking hormones?
No, I didn't start taking hormones until 2009.
Oh, really? You look
Yeah.
great, by the way.
Thanks.
Totally real.
Yeah.
Which is not a condition of transgender dumb. You don't have to look real or passable, but it can't hurt, right?
I wrote a poem about, in fact.
But we do not read poetry on this show because I can't stand poetry.
Oh,
okay.
okay.
So none of that poetry stuff. Anyway, none of that faggot stuff. I get it.
Yeah, it was about growing boobs.
Well, how can we? Is it short?
It's short.
Okay. Let us have it.
If I had a garden, I'd grow boobs, D cups or C cups, not these puny bees. What's he gonna do with half a tit? He wants the boobie. He needs the boobie. They need to up something in this estrogen. A girl's got to finally get laid from taking all these shots.
Boobies, boobies, boobies. Nothing but boobies. Neely O'Hara, Valley of the Dolls. Anyway, did you ever see that movie? It's hilarious.
No.
Unintentionally so. Sort of like this show, you know? But anyway, okay, so now you take hormones.
Yeah.
And you want to come to Manhattan.
Yeah.
Or did you? No, you came to Manhattan before you started taking hormones, but you were already living as a woman.
Yeah, I got confused there for a second.
On this show, how can you tell? Okay, yeah.
I came to New York first.
Now, you walked, didn't you?
I walked a good distance. Yes.
And what were you wearing?
A white dress and 3-inch heels.
And you had no money?
No money. No.
At all?
At all.
Because someone told you you shouldn't?
Yes. I have a mental illness, schizophrenia.
Oh, I see.
And
think what it did for Joan of Arc, though. You know?
Yeah, and I hear voices. I hear Mother Mary and Sade.
Sade, the singer, the popular singer.
Yes.
Who's such a smooth operator, yes.
Yes, she is.
Yes. And they tell you to do things.
Yeah, in 2007, they told me that there was going to be a 9/0 earthquake in Denver, Colorado, and that I had 3 days to get out. And I believed them. So...
Can't trust those pop singers, what can I tell you? Yeah. Okay.
And so I did what they said to do. They said to wear a white dress, 3-inch heels, start by walking, don't take any money with you.
No, of course, the actual Sade did not say this to you. This was all in your head.
This was all in my head.
Yes.
And the reason that I couldn't take anything with me was because someone would interfere with my life if I did.
Someone would interfere with your life, i.e. do you harm?
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
That's what the voices said.
Okay.
So I did what they said to do, and I came to New York. And it took me about 3 weeks to get here.
Walking?
Well, I walked, I hitchhiked.
That white dress must have been a little messy by the end of your trip.
Yes, it was. I didn't sleep for 13 days.
At all?
At all.
Were you on some kind of medication?
No, I just was hyped up with what was going on with me.
How did you eat with no money?
Well, people gave me money.
Did you tell them that you were on a quest or something?
Yeah, I told them that I was going to New York and that...
You had no money?
That I had no... I didn't even mention that I didn't have any money. They would offer me money.
Oh, wow. That's nice. There are nice people in the world.
Yeah.
And now you take medication to control your schizophrenia?
Yes.
And everything is okay now?
Yeah.
Okay, now you got to New York. You're a cross-dresser in a by now filthy white dress.
Yes.
And now run-down 3-inch heels.
Yes.
With no money?
With no money.
In Manhattan?
I had a few dollars from the last person that had given me $20 a lot of people would give me $20. They would just say, here's $20. Get yourself something to eat.
Yeah.
And
would it have been too awful to just go buy yourself another dress and comfortable shoes?
I didn't know where to go.
I see. Okay. Now you get to New York with a few dollars left.
Mm-hmm.
You are not on hormones yet, but yet you're wearing quite a dilapidated, at this point, white dress and high-heeled shoes. Mm-hmm. You're in Manhattan. What do you do?
I walked. My voices told me to walk east, I think it was, towards the river, towards the East River.
Yeah.
And so I walked till I got to the UN building.
Uh-huh.
And then I sat down for a minute, and then my voices told me to walk north. So I went north, and I came to a church on 66th Street and First Avenue.
The Unitarian Church?
No, it's an Albanian church.
Oh, okay.
And that became my home base. And
did they take you in?
No, I slept there on their steps.
It was summer, I would imagine.
No, it was February. It was freezing cold.
In that white dress and nothing else? How did you keep from freezing to death?
Somebody gave me a coat.
One of the priests, or just a person?
No, somebody way before I got to New York.
Oh,
gave me a
thank God,
coat.
thank God.
Yeah.
Okay. A women's coat or a men's coat?
A man's coat.
But
I
you were in
wore
no
it
position to be
because
choosy.
yeah, beggars can't be choosy.
Right. So, okay. Now what?
Homeless Outreach found me on the steps and took me to the shelter at Bellevue. And Bellevue...
Did they think you were insane? Or is that just where the shelter is?
That's just where the shelter is.
Okay.
And then from there I went to Ward's Island.
Okay.
And I got into this... they thought I was insane.
But if you were schizophrenic, maybe they weren't far off?
Yeah. They had this group called the CSS. It was for mentally ill people in the shelter.
Right.
And I got a room, I got a bed there, a permanent bed.
Would that be a dormitory?
Yeah, it's a dormitory type situation with, I think they had 5 big rooms.
Mm-hmm.
And
this is in Manhattan?
Yeah, this is in Manhattan.
And
no, it's on Ward's Island.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Where exactly is Ward's Island?
It's in the Harlem River, kind of north of...
Okay, but it's within easy traveling. How did you get your life together?
Well, it was difficult. It was difficult. I became really depressed, basically, and I started smoking marijuana, and which made me even more depressed.
Well,
but
it suppresses.
Yeah. But I found that I could draw, so I did a lot of drawing and I did a lot of writing. Mm-hmm. And I wrote the first part of my book that I have finished while in the shelter system.
Did they help you to get hormones and medication for your schizophrenia?
No, they didn't help me get hormones, but they helped me get the medication, yeah.
And one would imagine Medicaid and all the things you would need to get that medication.
Yeah.
And then someone helped you get a room, I believe.
Yeah. A woman named Anne-Marie helped me get a SRO. And
single room occupancy, yes.
Yeah, on East Broadway. And from there, the director there really believed in me. He helped me to get a computer and get my writing again, and he got an interview with me with the New York Times.
Wonderful.
And they gave me money for free art classes at the Educational Alliance.
Art classes?
Yeah, art classes.
To draw?
To draw and paint.
The Times gave you this?
Yeah, the Times gave me this.
That's great. That's wonderful. In payment for your story, or just because they wanted to give it to you?
No, they had a thing called the Most Neediest Cases, and they would donate money to the people for classes or things that they wanted to do to better themselves.
That's great.
Yeah, it was a really good program.
Were you trans then?
Yeah, I was trans then.
Okay.
But I just started taking hormones, so I didn't have boobies yet.
Nothing but boobies. And you got this single room occupancy thing?
Yeah, and then I was there for 15 months, and they got me a studio apartment on East 96th Street. And then from there, I was there for 3 years, and they got me my present apartment in East Harlem.
That's wonderful.
It's a permanent apartment. So.
And they pay the rent?
No, I paid the rent through my SSD.
And SSD is?
Social Security for Disabled People.
I see. Okay.
And yeah, so I pay $318 a month for rent.
The landlord will shoot you now. That's for a Manhattan apartment. That is
extraordinary.
Unbelievable. It's like they're giving it to you, you know.
But it's 30% of my income, so it's not a small chunk of my
But
income.
it's reasonable. I didn't know the real estate industry and the government could be so reasonable.
Yeah, they're called scatter site apartments. They're for mentally ill people who are on SSD. They have them all over Manhattan.
Is your entire building composed of mentally ill people?
They call them scattered sites because there's just certain numbers of apartments in each building that have this program. And it's called the supported housing. And
obviously one can't be violent in this setting. So
no,
they're not mentally ill and violent. They're simply not adjusted to society.
Yeah, we have a hard time in the workplace. I'll put it that way.
Because of your mental health issues?
Yeah.
If you applied for a job?
I mean, I worked for 32 years, but I always had a hard time.
What did you work at?
I was a custom woodworker.
Oh, wonderful. But
I made entry doors.
Can't you do that on your own?
Not really.
I see.
It takes a lot of money.
It
takes a lot of money for tools and for wood.
Right.
And for,
so you would have to work in a lumber shop, something like that.
Yeah, and that's, for transgender, that's just not possible, I don't think.
I guess. And also, wouldn't the stress of going to work every day and then coming home and doing the work be maybe too stressful given, you know, your...
Yeah, I think that's why I don't do it.
But you managed to survive and be comfortable on your SSD.
Yeah, I make it. It's not a great living, but I do survive.
Good.
Yeah.
Good, good, good. And aren't you a writer?
Yes, I am. I write novels, screenplays, a little bit of poetry here and there, but mostly screenplays and novels.
And what kind of screenplays and novels do you write?
Fantasy. I have a screenplay that's being looked at by 2 producers right now.
How great is that? When you say fantasy, you mean in the Harry Potter mode?
No, this particular one is called The Buried Moon and Her Daughter. It's about a clairvoyant girl and the moon who sees her long-lost daughter in this enchanted pool and goes down to, you know, be with her and takes the moon with her.
Wonderful.
And so the moon disappears from the sky.
Oh dear.
And this evil witch traps the moon under a rock. It's based on a old English folktale.
Mm-hmm.
So that part is the folktale part of it. And then the moon, while under the rock, finds a way to find this clairvoyant girl who she asks, well, can you help me? Can you come find me? Can you set me free? And she tells her where she's at and gives her this moon rock, which is actually the moon, and says, when it brightens, you'll know that you're getting close to me.
Now, if people want to read your writing, do you have a website?
I have 3 self-published books on Amazon.
Wonderful. What are they called?
One's called The Girl, the Moon, and the Melon.
Sounds like a porn film. Okay, yeah. The girl, the Coke bottle, and the apple. No, yes.
And the second one's called The Story of Josephine, and the third one is called The Blood Red Moon.
And people can buy these?
On Amazon, yeah.
That's great. And your name is
Rena Dunsworth.
Dunsworth. Dunsworth.
Yeah.
And I love that name, Rena. Reminds me of Rena Marlowe in The Carpetbaggers. I love that movie and I love that novel, which will show you how shallow and vulgar I am. But anyway, no wonder I hate poetry. There was a man from them. Anyway, you have, in spite of great obstacles, managed to carve out quite a good life for yourself, wouldn't you say?
Not bad.
Mm-hmm.
Not bad. I'm hoping it gets better. I'm working really hard on my writing because I hope to get out of the poorhouse.
You mean, yeah, but it ain't so bad. I mean,
it's not so bad.
Yeah, it beats the cold hard ground.
Better.
All these people living in the streets you see here in New York.
I have rich taste.
Why are these people living in the streets if they can get some kind of help?
I don't know. I don't understand it myself. I really don't, because New York has a very advanced shelter system, and they help. After a year of being in the shelter, they help you get an apartment.
That's great. You know, I mean, that's our Mayor de Blasio.
It's a long time to be in the shelter system, but at the end of the rainbow,
at least it is the shelter system as opposed to the street with the cold and the wind and the rain and the rats and the things. Is this Mayor de Blasio who did all this?
No, this was pre-Mayor de Blasio. This was Bloomberg when I was in...
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
Well, first he creates the homeless, then he gives them shelter. It's like that song, Give Me Shelter, rape, murder, give me shelter, yeah. But anyway, so do you see yourself being a writer for the rest of your life?
Yes. Even if I don't get published in a major way or sell a screenplay, which I'm really trying to do, I'll do it for the rest of my life.
Well, even self-published books are pretty good. Most people can barely read a book, much less write one, you know? And you have 3.
Yeah.
There's a certain president who brags that, I never read a book. No shit. We got the memo, yeah. I mean, our dear President Trump.
Is that really true?
He must have read a book somewhere along the line because presumably he knows how to sign his name, at least in hotel and motel registers. But no, I would imagine he's read something. He went to school.
Yeah.
But I believe he means recreational reading, you know.
That's like another pop star who brags that he's never read a book.
Is there such a pop star?
Yes.
Who?
Kanye West.
Oh, he's never read a book either?
He brags that he's never read a book.
Maybe he and Trump can, room together, yeah. Anyway, well, let's organize a trip to the library for them, But, well, Kanye West? Is he the one who only read?
I think so. I think
isn't he
the
the one who said
married
that
to Kim Kardashian?
Oh God! Well, he is a moron. Then you're right. Anyone married to a Kardashian deserves anything he, she, or it gets.
Yeah.
Well, Caitlyn, dear Caitlyn Jenner, watches this show, and I believe she was once married to a Kardashian, and look what happened. Talk about a castrating bitch. No, oh, that wasn't funny. I'm kidding. No, I love the mother, whatever her name is.
Yeah.
And I really love Caitlyn. Caitlyn, we love you, and we're so glad you've joined us in the Sisterhood of Trans. Good for you. You have great courage, and so have you. How can people contact you if they want to read your writing, or if maybe they'd like to talk to you? Can they contact you via email?
Yeah. Rena Dunsworth at gmail.com, all lowercase.
Okay. That's RenaDunsworth at gmail.com.
Yeah.
Anyway, my guest has been Ms. Rena Dunsworth, a writer and, yes, a woman of transgender experience who, as you've heard, has quite a tale to tell. And that was a true story. She writes fiction, but she lives the nitty-gritty.
Yeah.
And she has survived and, thank God, is flourishing. And I strongly urge you to contact her and investigate her wonderful books on Amazon. What are their names again?
The Girl, the Moon, and the Melon, The Story of Josephine, and The Blood Red Moon.
Okay. And they're all by Rena Dunsworth. Get them at Amazon if you wish. I'm not advertising. Anyway, I'm Diana Montford. This has been the Diana Montford Show. I love you a lot. Even if you've never read a book, hey, at least you're watching TV, right? But anyway, I love you a lot. Huh?
I love you too.
You love them or you love me?
Both.
Oh, well, there you go. Everybody loves everybody, and that's the way it should be. I love you a lot, and I'll see you next time, and you take real good care of yourself. Love you a lot. See you.